Alright guys, we're back in Lexus NX, now 11 years old, and for today's video I'm going to show you guys how to add Android Auto and Apple CarPlay to any car. There will be no splicing, no cutting of factory wires, everything will be completely reversible. And stay until the end because I'm also going to walk you through all the features of what I'm going to be installing today, as well as my whole decision process on how I ended up going with the solution that I went with. So who is this for anyway? Well, off the top of my head, I can think of two groups of people. The first one, you probably have a car from the late 80s, maybe early 90s, all the way to the mid 2010s, where you've taken good care of it mechanically. There's nothing wrong. It drives perfect. It drives fine. And you know that there's absolutely no reason to replace it, if not for the lack of Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. And you don't want to burden yourself with like car payments from a new car just to get those functions right. Or maybe you don't want a new car that's all touchscreen and you enjoy having your AC controls in physical buttons like in this Lexus NX. So that's the first group. The second group that I'm thinking of is maybe someone who has a newer car that actually has a medium-sized screen or a big screen. Maybe Android Auto or Apple CarPlay was available as an option when they first got the car, but they chose not to go for it because they don't want to be restricted to just wired functionality or maybe just non-touch functionality. Either way, if you want to add Android Auto or Apple CarPlay to your car, there are plenty of options available to you. Number one is, of course, just to use your phone, stick it on the dashboard. Well, that's not necessarily Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. You're probably using Google Maps or Apple Maps. But that's a little unsightly and quite inconvenient from a day-to-day use case standpoint. Number two is actually to get one of those aftermarket boxes that actually allow you to wire Android Auto or Apple CarPlay into your car, but that requires taking apart the dashboard, splicing into factory harnesses, and quite frankly, it's just a little too much fiddling. In my case, I actually had one of those kits, and I'll show you guys right here. I actually had one of those Grom VL2 kits, and when this was working, it was pretty okay, save for some flickering when you're in the factory menus and like looking at the reverse camera. Unfortunately, that stopped working because this being an old car, the aux input just stopped being functional. And the thing about all of these boxes is that even if they intercept the main wiring harness in your radio, they still rely most of the time on the aux function. And in my case, I think the analog to digital signal processor went bad on this one. I mean, it's 11 years old after all. So I no longer have aux input as well as AM and FM radio, unfortunately. Fortunately, Bluetooth audio still works, and that gets me to the third option, which is to get one of those screens that can stream Android Auto or Apple CarPlay to your car radio via Bluetooth while hosting it on the standalone hardware. And for that, I picked this guy, the AutoCast Ottoscreen AI. Now, let's just disregard the AI part of its name for now because everyone just puts AI in product names and most of the time they don't really hold much weight. But this is not a sponsored video and I bought this product off of Amazon myself. So why did I pick the Autoscreen AI? Well, as I mentioned earlier, the top priority was to have something that's capable of streaming audio via Bluetooth, and this one had it. It also runs the Android system, so that means I can install apps off of the Google Play Store, and that was really important for me versus like something that's just limited to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Now, tying those two functions together, streaming audio via Bluetooth and installing apps, a big draw to me was the availability of dual Bluetooth streaming on this product. So, what does that mean? Basically, this product will take care of connecting to the car radio, and your phone can maintain its own independent Bluetooth connection to this guy. Now, the nice thing about that is that beyond just Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, for example, if you download some apps, maybe, I don't know, Netflix or YouTube to watch in parking lots, not while driving, you don't have to fiddle around with the connections too much, and you can just switch apps from within the unit, and audio will continue streaming to your radio. Now, that's really convenient. And for the fourth point, dual Bluetooth actually works, like I said, on any app. Now, that's unlike other options in the market where there'll be fine print at the bottom of the listing that kind of says, hey, dual Bluetooth only works on Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and that kind of defeats the purpose for me since I wanted an Android based unit to start with. For this brand, I think they only have one or two products like this. This is the higher end model, and I think the big difference is that this one can install Android apps while the other cannot. So that was also a nice plus to me because the other brand that I was considering was Carpuride, and if you log onto their website, the lineup's just so confusing. And that's also where I saw all the fine print that I was talking about earlier. And last but not the least, the price on this one was very competitive. I think it was around $180, which presented great value for the money, at least for me. Considering the same amount spent on a copyright product, for example, would probably not land you dual Bluetooth. You probably can't install Android apps in it. So, yeah, if everything works fine on this guy, I think it's great bang for buck. Now, before we get started, I'll just quickly unbox this to show you guys what's inside, and we're both seeing this for the first time. So, let's take this off. You got the unit itself with what looks like an anti-glare screen protector already installed. It comes with a built-in stand that looks to be removable and has plenty of adhesive on it. The stand in the back looks to be mounted on a four-prong Richter mount. I hope, though it seems a little smaller than a Richter. We'll find out in a bit. On one side, you got a USB-C port, a SD card slot, and what looks like a 3.5 mm jack. I think that's for the rear camera that also comes with this guy. Well, what do you know? They have labels on it. So one is actually aux in and another one is AV in. Also comes with a rear camera and the wire harness, and this looks like the 2.5 mm jack that's going to plug in the AV in port right there. I'm not going to be installing this one today. And a USB-C charger with a long wire inside. Last, we have a product manual and a 3.5 mm audio wire. I can confirm that it's a Richter mount because if we take this off, this one fits just fine. I bought this separately, by the way, it's not included in the kit. And that will mount straight onto the 17 mm ball mount that I bought. Now, this is special for the Lexus NX. It's actually custom molded for the center AC vent right here. See? And we now have the Ottoscreen AI mounted on the ball mount, but one thing that's not so nice is that it now blocks the center AC vent. So I'll probably find a way to deal with that problem down the road, but that'll do for now for the purpose of initial testing. It's booting up. Now to pair this to the factory radio, we go here. So you can see the dual Bluetooth function is system-wide. So we have a receive Bluetooth pair and a transmit Bluetooth pair. So let's do transmit for now. Aside from dual Bluetooth, this can also send audio via FM frequency, aux cable, and it also can play audio out of its built-in speaker. Alright, we entered pairing mode in the NX. Let's see if we can figure out how to pair it. Refresh. Lexus. Well, look at that worked. Now that we have it connected to the car, let's try to play something over Bluetooth. But first, we'll need to turn on Wi-Fi and connect to my phone's hotspot. Okay, that was quick. Now we go. Immediately, it's offering me an update, but let's ignore that for now and look for something to stream to Bluetooth. Search for this on YouTube. Let's click one of our old videos. Red fence, but it said ship. So this one's definitely not transmitted to the vehicle. And we have audio streaming to the car now. Next, let's try to connect to my phone to use Android Auto. Receive on Bluetooth. Let's try to look for that one here. And it reads my phone. And Android Auto immediately started. Look at that. Press continue. Now. And audio immediately started playing. Alright, let's try to boot up Android Auto. Now, I just played the clip that was recorded a few seconds ago and realized that the audio sounds really bad. Now, that's just because of my noise canceling earphones and microphone, not because of the quality of the Bluetooth transmission from this guy itself. So let's click Android Auto. Maybe try Hey Google functionality. Navigate to Starbucks. It's pretty fast. And there you go.
Alright, quickly jumping out of the Bluetooth microphone and earphones right here to let you guys hear the sound quality on the Ottoscreen AI. So let's hit play right here. It's honestly not bad considering I have the basic audio system in my Lexus NX and not the Mark Levinson system. I'd say the response of the speakers, at least with the audio that's coming out of this thing, is pretty dynamic. So yeah, that's definitely a pass for me. And as a bonus, since it's connected via Bluetooth, the steering wheel controls actually work. So let's press again. There you go. So it's nice that you can still control the audio from the steering wheel. Alright, let's jump back and explore the other features.
Alright, I found an old iPhone at home, so that will allow us to try CarPlay. Now, I already have the Bluetooth connection active between the iPhone and the Ottoscreen AI. And to do that, you basically have to disconnect the existing connection to the Android phone first before you can pair the iPhone. But once that's done, you can click this one, CarPlay. And I'm honestly not familiar with CarPlay, but I just want to show you guys. Let's hit Google Maps. Oh, right, this cell phone does not have a SIM card installed. So let's skip that. But yeah, you guys can basically see that CarPlay works. So let's jump back and explore the rest of the features on this thing. Now that I have my account logged into the Google Play Store, I can also download apps. So for example, let's download Amazon. And once again, you will need an active Wi-Fi connection for this. And right now I have my phone's hotspot on. So let's hit install on that. And once it's fully installed, you can see that we can open the app and use it like a normal Android tablet. Let's hit skip sign just to show you guys. And there you go. You can use this like you normally would on any Android phone or tablet. Now let's go back to the home screen. There's another thing I want to show you guys, which is this ability to do split screen. So if we hold here, one side will always be either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and on the other side, you can choose whatever app you want open. So if for some reason you want Netflix on the right side, you can do that, as you can see here. And this is pretty useful because there are some Android apps, for example, that you can download that can link with a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi OBD2 adapter inserted into your car's OBD2 port, and you can actually put up like gauges on this right side to monitor your engine temps, transmission temps, coolant temps, while still having Android Auto or Apple CarPlay on this left side. So that's pretty useful, actually. I'll probably do something like that in a future video, so stay tuned for that. And sliding the center bar to either side will basically turn whichever side you're pulling from to full screen mode. I also noticed that there are these floating controls on the screen all the time. So if we hit this circle right here, it basically allows us to go home, pull up split screen mode, go back, raise and lower the volume, adjust brightness, I believe, and what's this? So that's basically the task switcher. And that's your brightness control. Last but not least, taking a quick look at the storage on this thing. It has 64 gigs in total of storage space, and we currently have 11 gigs used, so that's definitely a lot more space to store media and apps. All right, I've had this thing on for a few days now, and I cleaned up the wiring over here. I routed the USB cable behind the panel that holds the engine start button down the kick panel here by my right leg and into the center console. And as you can see, there's still plenty of slack left on the power cable that came with the Autoscreen AI. So you definitely have a lot of flexibility when it comes to mounting this. Now, one thing that I noticed is that it tends to get a little hot, especially when you're running Android Auto. So I think the AC vents blowing to the back of it actually works to my advantage because it kind of helps keep the auto screen AI cool. And it's not like I greatly reduced the AC on this vehicle since I still have side vents and the rear passengers have their own vent there in the back. But yeah, this thing's been pretty reliable so far in the last few days. So if you're interested in getting an auto screen AI, I have, like I said earlier, I have the links down there in the description below. Buying through those links would greatly help the channel. And if you found this helpful, I'd also appreciate if you can hit like and subscribe. That'll help grow the channel as well. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.